The next topic we are going to discuss is hard and soft water. So basically water is classified into two parts. One is hard water and one is soft water. As we know, hard water do not generate foam with soap easily. So basically hard water is that water which do not generate foam with the soap. Why hard water do not generate foam with soap? Due to presence of chlorides, sulfates and bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium. Therefore hard water do not generate easily foam with soap. And what is soft water? Soft water is basically the water which easily generate foam with the soap. So basically hardness of water is due to why? So basically the hardness of water is due to the soluble salts. So basically the hardness of water is due to the soluble salts of calcium and magnesium ion. So basically chlorides, sulfates, bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium is the region of hardness of water. And hardness is further divided into two parts. See, so basically hardness is divided into two parts. One is temporary hardness and one is permanent hardness. So basically temporary hardness of water is due to soluble bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium. See, the bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium like calcium bicarbonate CaSCO3 twice. Also we can say magnesium MgSCO3 twice. So basically hardness we have divided into two parts. One is temporary and one is permanent. And hardness of water is due to the soluble salts of calcium and magnesium in the form of bicarbonates, chlorides, sulfates. So basically temporary hardness is due to the soluble bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium like calcium bicarbonate, magnesium bicarbonate. And permanent hardness in water is due to the presence of soluble chlorides and sulfates of calcium and magnesium. For example, chlorides CaCl2 of calcium, chloride of magnesium MgCl2, also sulfates calcium sulfate, magnesium sulfate. So basically the reason for temporary hardness is the presence of bicarbonates while the reason for the permanent hardness is due to the presence of sulfates and chlorides of calcium and magnesium, while temporary hardness is bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium. See, why hard water do not give foam with soap easily? The reason for hardness. See the reason for hardness. Basically the reason for hardness is, as we know, soap contains the general molecular formula of soap is RCO negative and Na positive. So basically there are two parts. See, the one of the part of soap is hydrophobic and one of the part is hydrophilic. See, in this case, so this is basically the R group. This is basically the R group and this is COO negative. So this is R group and this is CO negative. As we can see that in this case there is long chain of carbon atom. So basically due to long chain of carbon atom, this part carbon containing part, long chain carbon containing part having more number of carbon atoms, therefore it repels the water molecules. Hence the R part is basically water repelling, and if water repelling then we call hydrophobic. So basically this part is hydrophobic because this long part of carbon chain will repel the water molecules. Hence hydrophobia means hydrophobic part. while this part CO negative attracts the water molecule towards itself. Therefore, we call this part as hydrophilic part. Hydrophilic means water attracting part. So basically two parts are there in the general formula of soap, which is RCO negative. So RCO negative when we see, so in RCO negative there are two parts. One is hydrophobic part, which is long chain carbon part, also non-polar. So this part is hydrophobic, water repelling, while CO negative is hydrophilic. Now we can see that this is the long chain of carbon. So this end we call hydrophobic and water repelling in nature, while this part CO negative part is basically a polar group, and it attracts water molecule towards itself. Therefore we call it hydrophilic and attracted towards water. See how the generation of foam. See, basically when the cloths are dirty, then the dirt is in the form of this. Now when we wash it with soap, so on washing with soap, basically the arrangement is in such a way that this is the hydrophobic part and this is the hydrophilic part. Again, this is the hydrophobic part and this is the hydrophilic part. Again, this is the hydrophobic part and this is the hydrophilic part. So basically when we see that, so the arrangement is such a way that the orientation is like that. The dirt is surrounded such that the hydrophilic part, which is negative part, is outside. The hydrophilic part comes outside. Hydrophilic part comes outside, and this is the hydrophobic part. So as we know that this is the hydrophilic part, water attracting. When we wash it with water, as the soap surround the dirt in the form of micelle. So this is basically the micelle. So micelle is basically the arrangement of soap in the form such that it forms a micelle around the dirt, so that the hydrophilic part comes outside, and hydrophobic part is inside. And when water molecules are passed, then the hydrophilic part is attracted by the water molecules, and the water is washed, and the water is take away the soap in the form of micelle. Now the cloth is clear. So basically this is the generation of soap. We can see that in this diagram also. So this is basically the hydrophobic part, this is hydrophobic part, and this is which is CO negative is the hydrophilic part. Water attracting, when water is passed, so these polar groups will attract the water molecule. This formation we call micelle formation. So this is the basically process of generation of foam, micelle formation, such that the water molecules are attracted by the polar part, hydrophilic part of soap, which is CO negative, and hydrophobic part remain inside the dirt, so that when the water is passed, the the dirt in the form of micelle will also come with the water molecules, as attraction takes place between the water molecules and the polar part of the soap. Now we will see how is the removal of hardness of water. See the removal of hardness of water. So our next topic is removal of hardness of water. Basically we know that hardness of water is due to, so the hard water is due to the presence of the soluble salts of calcium and magnesium. So basically, the hardness of water is due to the soluble salts of calcium and magnesium. If calcium and magnesium ions are removed, then hard water will contain into soft water. For example, this water is free of calcium and magnesium ion, therefore we call it soft water. So basically our purpose for removal of hardness of water is to remove calcium and magnesium ion. If calcium and magnesium ion are removed, then hard water will change into soft water. As we know that this is the PPT or scum. This is the precipitate or scum which is formed when soap dissolves in hard water. So basically when soap dissolves in hard water, it forms this compound as a PPT, precipitate or scum. Due to formation of this compound of calcium and magnesium, soap do not work in hard water. So basically when soap is worked with hard water, then it forms this compound which is PPT or scum. Therefore, due to formation of this compound which is insoluble, hence soap do not work in hard water. So basically now we will discuss the processes for the removal of hard water, temporary hardness. So first we will discuss the removal of temporary hardness. See, so basically first we discuss about the processes for removal of temporary hardness. As we know that temporary hardness is due to the presence of, so the reason for temporary hardness is why. So temporary hardness is due to bicarbonates. Temporary hardness is due to bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium, like calcium bicarbonate and magnesium bicarbonate. So basically temporary hardness is due to the bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium. Now temporary hardness can be removed by simple boiling. So the first method is how we remove the temporary hardness. So basically temporary hardness is removed by simple boiling method. See, so basically as we know that temporary hardness is due to bicarbonates, so the soluble bicarbonates on heating are precipitated in the form of carbonates. So on heating calcium bicarbonate, which is insoluble, on heating calcium bicarbonate, which is soluble, so it contains two ions, one is calcium ion and one is bicarbonate ion. So basically our purpose is to remove calcium and magnesium ion. When calcium and magnesium ions are removed, then hard water will convert into soft water. So basically on boiling it precipitated in the form of calcium carbonate, PPT, which is insoluble, hence the water is free from the hardness, as calcium ion is removed in the form of insoluble PPT of calcium carbonate. So one of the method for removal of temporary hardness is by simple boiling. When we simple boil the soluble bicarbonates, then it gets PPT in the form of insoluble carbonates. See the next method. The next method we call the Clark's method. So basically the next method is addition of slackline. So hardness of water can be removed by the addition of slackline. Again, temporary hardness is due to the presence of bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium. See, this is calcium bicarbonate. When lime is added, again we know to remove the temporary hardness, we have to remove calcium ion and magnesium ion. So basically when lime is added, so basically lime is calcium hydroxide is added. So when calcium hydroxide is added, again it will PPT in the form of calcium carbonate. With the evolution of CO2 gas along with water. So one of the method which we have discussed for removal of temporary hardness is by simple boiling. When simple boiling is used, so on heating the soluble bicarbonates gets converted into the insoluble PPT of calcium carbonate. Again, the second method for the removal of temporary hardness is by the addition of lime. So basically, when lime, calcium hydroxide, is added to calcium bicarbonate, so it again precipitated in the form of calcium carbonate with the evolution of CO2 gas along with water. In the same way, when magnesium bicarbonate is again added with NaOH like, so it will convert into MgOH twice, again in the form of PPT with the evolution of water and Na2CO3. So these are the two methods we have discussed. One is the addition of lime for removal of temporary hardness, and one is by simple boiling method. Now we will discuss the removal of permanent hardness method. See, what are the methods for the removal of permanent hardness? See, the first method for removal of permanent hardness is by adding washing soda. So basically, again, what is the reason for permanent hardness? So permanent hardness is due to chlorides of magnesium and calcium, and due to sulfates of calcium and magnesium. So this is the reason behind the permanent hardness. See, how is the removal of permanent hardness? As we know that, so basically we have to remove the calcium ion and magnesium ion for the removal of permanent hardness. So the first method is by adding washing soda. Let's take calcium and magnesium as metal M. So basically, like CaCl2 is given, and when in CaCl2, for example, CaCl2 is given. So in CaCl2, when we add Na2CO3. So in CaCl2, when we add Na2CO3, so this reaction is basically like this. CaCl2 is added with Na2CO3. So basically, calcium Ca2 plus ion combines with carbonate ion and gets PPT in the form of calcium carbonate. So basically, permanent hardness due to chloride of calcium is removed in the form of PPT, which is insoluble, and Na combined with Cl form 2NaCl. In the similar way, we can say that again, if we are using like magnesium sulfate, and we added Na2CO3, again Mg combines with carbonate, forms magnesium carbonate as a PPT, and again Na2SO4. So basically, if we take calcium and magnesium as metal M, so now we can see that, so for removal of permanent hardness, first method we are using by adding washing soda. So the metal can be calcium and magnesium. For example, when MCl2 like CaCl2, MgCl2 is added with Na2CO3, then metal having divalent cation M2 positive and again CO3 2 negative, M2 positive CO3 2 negative will combine and form MCO3 as a PPT, precipitate plus 2NaCl. In the same way, we can see that when MSO4 combines with Na2CO3, then Na2 combines with SO4 to minus form Na2SO4. Again, the sulfate precipitated in the form of carbonate MCO3. So one of the method for the removal of permanent hardness is by adding washing soda. Now see the another method which we called Calgen's method. So the next method we are going to discuss is Calgen method. See, basically Calgen, the molecular formula of Calgen is basically NaPO3 and having 6 as a suffix. We can also say that the formula of Calgen is when we multiply 6, so basically it is Na6 and P6 and 3 6 are 18. So Na6 P6O18 is the formula of Calgen. So this method For removal of permanent hardness, we can also call it Caljan method. So the name of this compound is basically sodium hexametaphosphate. So name of the Caljan is basically, Caljan is the common name, and the name of this compound is sodium hexametaphosphate. We can also write this compound, which is Na6P6NO18. So we can also write this compound Na6P6O18 in the form of Na2. Na2 is outside the coordination sphere and Na4 and Na4 PO thrice 6. So basically we can call this compound sodium hexametaphosphate. Now we see the permanent hardness is due to the chlorides and sulfates of calcium and magnesium. As we can see that we have to remove this calcium ion. So basically as we can see that the compound containing Na4, it means plus 4 charge is present inside. So outside ions, counter ion will remain as it is, and the ions of sodium plus which are present inside, so these ions are replaced by calcium. So now we can see that to maintain the charge balance, 4Na plus means 4 Na plus ion means plus 4 charge. So basically 2 calcium ion will replace by 2 calcium is plus 2 into 2 is 4. So 2 calcium ion are removed by Na4. So now the compound formula is Na2Ca2, rest remain as it is. So these 2 Ca are basically replaced by 4Na. So in this method we have removed the permanent hardness due to presence of chlorides and sulfates of calcium magnesium by using addition of Caljan. So basically Ca2 plus ion is trapped by this complex. So Ca2 plus ion which are present in the hard water is being trapped by this complex, and Ca2 plus ions are removed. In the same way we can remove Mg2 positive ion. So this is basically the method for the removal of permanent hardness. Two methods we have discussed. One is the addition of washing soda. So in this form, PPT in the form of carbonates, and the next method is Caljan method. In this method we have removed the calcium ion by forming it a complex. Now the next method we are going to discuss for removal of permanent hardness is permuted process or zeolite method. So the next method is permuted process, also we call it zeolite method. See. So what is zeolite? Basically, permutate is also called as zeolite. As we can see that permutate means permit. So basically, these zeolites have some pores. So basically, permutate or zeolites are the compounds with a. So basically, zeolite or permutate is basically a compound with a specific pore size on the surface. Also, we can call another name for permutate or zeolite is sodium aluminium silicate. So basically, we can say that sodium aluminium silicate, we can write it as sodium aluminium silicate. Either this one, also we may say Na2 Al2 Si2 O8.xs2. So these are the basically two formulas for the zeolites. We can call this sodium aluminium silicates. In short form we can also write this 2 sodium ion, and the whole part we can write as Z. Z means zeolite. So in short form we can write it as Na2Z. So basically this is Na2 and this whole part is Z in the form of zeolite. As basically our purpose is to remove calcium and magnesium ion present in the hard water. See how. So basically these calcium ion are trapped by zeolite. So these calcium ion are trapped by zeolite and water becomes free of calcium and magnesium ion, so hard water converts into soft water. So these calcium ion are trapped by the zeolite. So two sodium ions are free and zeolite trap the calcium ion. Now as we can see that as calcium ion gets adsorbed on the surface of the zeolite, so basically for regeneration of zeolite, again this calcium compound with zeolite is refreshed by using NaCl. Now we can again by using this reaction, so basically 2Na plus 2Cl minus, now CaCl2, and the zeolite is again regenerated in the form of Na2Z. So this is the process how we can remove the permanent hardness by using zeolite method. See, we can also see it by diagram. As hot water contains calcium and magnesium ion, when we pass it through the zeolite, which is Na2Z. So basically the hard water containing calcium and magnesium ion gets trapped by this zeolite, to make the surface of zeolite again free. So now we have added NaCl and impurities are removed and we get soft water from this point. Now see the next method for the removal of permanent hardness, which is ion exchange reagent method. See. See the ion exchange. See, when all the Na2Z zeolite is used, then it is said to be exhausted and can be regenerated by addition of NaCl. Now see the next method for the removal of permanent hardness, which is ion exchange reagent method. See what takes place in ion exchange reagent method. So reagents are basically acids. Reagents are basically acids or base. So basically reagents may be acids or base containing organic molecules. See what are the reagents. So reagents are basically, we can see that RCU negative H, this is carboxylic part, and RNH2 plus OH minus. So basically the acids groups are cation exchange reagent. So acid groups like carboxylic acid RCOH and sulfonic groups like RSO3 negative H plus, these are used for the exchange of cation. Hence we call this cation exchange reagent. While the basic group like RNH3 positive and OH minus. So basically this group is used for the exchange of an ion. So this reagent is used for the exchange of an ion, and this group is acids are used for the exchange of cation. Hence we called cation exchange reagent. While this group is used for the exchange of an ion OH minus, therefore we called it anion exchange reagent. Now as we can see that the hard water containing calcium and magnesium ion, the chamber contains acids. So basically acids, now we can see that, so this is basically groups containing the cationic exchange reagent. So basically H plus ions are exchanged. In cation exchange reagent, H plus ions are exchanged. So when hard water is passed through cationic exchange reagent, which is RCOH, then H plus ion removed by the calcium and magnesium ion. So basically these reagent adsorb calcium and magnesium ion. So H plus ions gets consumed. For the regeneration, H plus ion acids are used for the regeneration. We can see also the reaction. So basically, as this group is used for the cation exchange, so calcium 2 plus ion is cation will be exchanged by H plus ion. We can also write this as RCO part is reagent and H positive. So H plus ion are removed and the calcium ion is absorbed by reagent. So basically the charge on RCO is negative. To balance the charge, it will be Ca2 Rn twice and 2H plus is free. Now we can see that salt water not suitable for drinking purpose because salt water contain H plus ion. As calcium ion is removed and the calcium ion is adsorbed by the reagent. The charge on reagent is -1. So -1 into 2 is -2 and calcium is +2. Now see the another. As again for the generation of reagent, as H plus ion is removed, so generation of reagent, HCl drops are passed. So when HCl drops are passed through this reagent of calcium now, so again it will generate it in the form of calcium chloride and reagent is regenerated. Now as we can see that the process. So hard water containing calcium magnesium ion is passed. This is the cation exchange reagent method, in which the reagent is RCO part and RCO part will adsorb calcium plus ion. Now water having H plus ion. For regeneration of reagent we use HCl droplets. Now reagent is regenerated. Now water containing H plus ion Cl minus again pass. Now the water is passed through anion exchange reagent. So now water is passed through anion exchange reagent. We know that in ionic exchange reagent the group is RNH3 plus OH minus and containing H plus which is passed through cationic exchange reagent plus Cl minus. Now OH minus ion. Now OH minus ion is exchanged by Cl minus. So basically again OH minus ions. So Cl minus are also removed. First in cation exchange reagent method. In cation exchange reagent method, we have removed Ca2 plus ion. In anion exchange reagent method, we removed Cl minus. Now Cl minus is exchanged by OH minus. Therefore, we call anionic exchange reagent, and we get water as soft water, which is fit for the drinking. So this is basically the two chambers. One is cationic exchange reagent, in which cations are exchanged. Then after exchanges cation, the water is passed through anionic exchange reagent. In anionic exchange reagent, the chlorides, sulfates are exchanged. Now we get the water, soft water used for the drinking purpose. And we can regenerate the reagent by dropping HCl in case of cationic exchange reagent and by adding base in the case of anionic exchange reagent. So the reagents are regenerated.